Han Chaeyoung is used to being respected, feared. Her name commands entire rooms. It's printed in gold foil on fashion press invites, whispered between department heads at top design schools, and placed above every elite client's request form at Maison Han, South Korea's most prestigious couture house. She's not just the heiress. She's the face. Born into unimaginable wealth, Chaeyoung has never known life without options or expectations. Her father, Han Man-seok, built Maison Han from scratch and made it very clear from day one. Just because you're my daughter doesn't mean you deserve the throne. Earn it, or step aside. So she works, not out of necessity but out of obligation and pride. Her days are painfully precise. Her glass-walled office at the top of the Han Tower reflects Seoul's skyline. But inside, it's silent, cold, everything in its place. Staff walk softly. Junior designers don't breathe without checking her mood. Her schedule is airtight. Her coffee is exact. She doesn't yell. She doesn't need to. A glance from Han Chaeyoung is louder than any scream. But today, she's starving. She's been in back-to-back meetings since sunrise. She's wearing a limited edition cream blouse flown in from Milan. She skipped breakfast, skipped lunch, and was relying on her assistant to handle everything, including ordering food. He forgot. Panicking, a new intern ordered takeout from a local app. And that's how Seo Jihwan first walks into her world. The elevator doors open with a soft chime. He steps out, soaked from the pouring rain, helmet tucked under his arm, paper bag dangling from raw, red fingers. He looks exhausted. His sneakers squeak on the tile. He's focused, but tired. The bag is wet. He steps forward. Rip. The handle gives out. A container of tomato cream pasta hits the ground with a dull splat, then bounces, then bursts, straight onto Chaeyoung's blouse. Red sauce, white silk, silence. The interns gasp. A designer drops a tablet. Everyone freezes. Chaeyoung stares down at the mess, then up, her face unreadable. Are you blind? He blinked, then shrugged, voice dry but honest. No, the bag was wet. This is Italian silk. Limited run. Do you have any idea what you just ruined? He met her stare squarely, shrugging again. Something expensive. My bad. Chaeyoung sharply axed. Name. Without hesitation, he held her gaze. Why? You planning to sue? A pause. His voice isn't smug, just dry, honest. The office is holding its breath. No one has ever spoken to her like that, especially not someone dripping rain onto the floor in a delivery uniform. But she doesn't shout, doesn't even blink. What throws her off more than the pasta is the way he's looking at her. The intern rushed forward, panic flaring in his eyes. Director Han, I'll clean this up right away. I'll call the app. They'll refund everything, and he won't be allowed back here again. Chaeyoung's voice was stern. Out. The intern blinked, caught off guard. Sorry? You, him, everyone. 5 minutes. The room clears like a vacuum just sucked the air out. Jihwan lingers a moment, wiping his hands on his jeans. Then, without a word, he turns and walks back toward the elevator, his shoes squeaking softly on the marble. He doesn't look back. She watches the sauce drip down her blouse in silence. Han Chaeyoung made exactly one phone call the morning after the spill. Blacklist him. Her voice, like glass, elegant, thin, and dangerous. That delivery guy. I don't want to see him near this building again. But the poor intern, still recovering from the trauma of watching creamy tomato sauce ruin a blouse worth his college tuition, replied with a gulp. Ms. Han, it's randomized. The app assigns drivers based on proximity and... She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Her silence was enough to make the air feel 10 degrees colder. A week later, the elevator doors slide open. There he is. Seo Jihwan. Again. New jacket. Same tired eyes. They both freeze. Chaeyoung steps out. He's stepping in. Neither of them moves at first. Just the mechanical hum of the elevator filling the silence. Her eyes narrow. You again, she said curtly. Believe me, not my choice. Jaiwan replied. He sidesteps, letting her pass. She doesn't thank him, but she notices he doesn't flinch, doesn't bow, doesn't avoid her gaze like everyone else. Later, she's being driven to a make-or-break client dinner. The potential client's family owns a chain of luxury hotels in Southeast Asia. Her team has spent 3 weeks preparing pitch decks and dress prototypes. Her regular driver is out sick. The temp placement is fresh out of the agency, barely older than her interns, and clearly shaken by having Korea's most intimidating heiress in the back seat. Rain batters the windshield. Visibility drops. It's just a few more turns, she mutters, checking her phone. 37 minutes late. Her jaw tightens. I think you missed the turn, she says. Sorry, ma'am. I'll just, hold on. He tries to make a sudden U-turn on a narrow side road. The tires skid. He overcorrects. A loud honk. Blinding headlights. Crash. Not fatal, but hard. Sharp. The sound of metal scraping. The sudden jerk of the seatbelt snapping her forward. The airbag barely misses her face. The car lurches against a guardrail and stalls. Oh my God. I'm sorry, are you okay? Ms. Han. She doesn't answer. She's already stepping out of the car, coat soaked instantly by the rain, heels clicking furiously on the pavement. And then headlights. A scooter weaves slowly toward her in the opposite lane, water splashing up from every pothole. It slows. The rider lifts his helmet visor. Jaiwan tilted his head, voice casual. He asked, "Rough day?" Chaeyoung's face remained stone cold. "Don't start." He studied her for a moment. "You all right? What do you think? You look better than the car." Jaiwan's voice was dry, almost teasing. She glares at him. Her coat is damp. Her mood worse. She exhales sharply, turns away, but her heel nearly slips in a puddle. He catches her elbow. She jerks away like he burned her. "I don't need your help," she snapped. Jaiwan's eyes locked onto hers. "Sure looks like you do." He nodded toward the back of his scooter. "Want to wait in that wreck with the rookie hyperventilating over the steering wheel? Or ride with someone who's at least conscious?" Chaeyoung glanced down at her heels. "I'm wearing heels." Jaiwan's gaze flicked toward the scooter. "Then you can wait here in the rain with your broken bends. Up to you." The wind kicks up. She eyes the scooter. Her jaw clenches. Then, without a word, she steps forward and swings one leg over the seat. Gracefully, like she's done it before. Jaiwan blinked, clearly taken aback. "Wasn't expecting you to actually get on." Chaeyoung replied. "Neither was I." She paused, then added with a quiet threat. "Not a word about this. Ever." He smirked faintly. "Not even to my daughter. She loves drama." "You have a daughter?" His tone softened. "Yeah, I do." For a second, she almost looks at him like a person. She holds the back of his jacket with 2 fingers, like it's contagious. Her heels clink awkwardly against the footrests. He glances over his shoulder. Jaiwan looked over his shoulder, eyebrows raised. "You might want to hold on tighter. Drive." Chaeyoung said, unimpressed. "The ride is short, but the silence between them is louder this time." She expects discomfort, but it's surprisingly freeing. No tinted windows. No Bluetooth calls from her father. No interns handing her dry reports. Her silk skirt flaps in the wind. Her cheek brushes the back of his shoulder. Not on purpose. Just rain, wind, engine, soul lights flickering past. Her expensive perfume mixes with the scent of motor oil and damp leather. For once, no one's trying to impress her. No one's tiptoeing. And she doesn't hate it. When they arrive near the hotel, she slides off stiffly, brushing her skirt down. Her heels splash in a puddle. Her legs are numb from the cold. But something in her feels warm, and she hates that. She didn't look back as she stepped away, just muttered over her shoulder, "Don't get used to this." Jaiwan smirked, brushing a drop of rain from his cheek. Too late. She starts to walk off, then stops. Without turning, "Thanks." He looked up, surprised by the softness in her tone. "You're welcome, Han Chaeyoung." She turns, surprised. He nods. You dropped your name tag that first day. I remember things. She disappears through the lobby doors, heels echoing, chin high. He sits there on his scooter watching her go. Then he laughs. Just once. Quiet. Rain still pouring around him. One rainy evening, Chaeyoung steps into a sleek, upscale pharmacy tucked inside a chic department store near her apartment. The kind of place where everything smells faintly of lavender and expensive creams line the shelves. She tucks her umbrella under one arm, trying to keep her hair perfect. Near the cough medicine aisle, Seo Jihwan is there, quietly scanning labels, holding a bottle of pediatric cough syrup. He doesn't look up at first. She smirks. You're following me now? At the sound of her voice, he looked up. He held up the bottle between two fingers. Or maybe Soul's just small. She raised a brow. Or maybe you're desperate for attention. Jihwan looked at her as if she was crazy. If I wanted attention, I'd spill more pasta on you. She almost laughs but quickly catches herself. Her chest tightens. She hates that. Later that week, driving home in her luxury sedan, heat blasting through the vents, latte from the cafe in her hand, Chaeyoung notices movement outside the tutoring center near her building. There he is, Seo Jihwan, waiting patiently. A little girl, about 6 years old, runs up and wraps her arms around his leg. He crouches, pulls a napkin from his pocket, and gently wipes her nose. His jacket soaks in the rain, but he holds an umbrella tilted just enough to cover her head. Chaeyoung watches quietly from inside her car. The warmth from her latte doesn't touch the cold knot twisting in her chest. What would it feel like to be loved like that? They're not in love, not even close, but something's shifting. Chaeyoung starts waiting an extra second before stepping into the elevator, just to see if he's there. He begins delivering to her floor himself. Not because it's the fastest route, but because he's curious about her reaction. The insults, they come slower now, softer, less sharp, like they're being tested, and maybe even reconsidered. And one day, she catches herself smiling. Not at the silk blouse, not at the company, but at him. Just a little, and it terrifies her.